Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rising Gems podcast. My name is Miroslava, and I am here with.
I am Erica. We are here to empower and inspire those ready to rise and align to their most authentic selves.
Exactly. We are all rising gems, polishing ourselves with spiritual truths to expand our minds and reclaim our shine.
If you enjoyed this conversation, we'd love for you to download this episode, subscribe, and leave a review on iTunes.
So thank you so much, my friend, for being here with us, sharing this space.
Have fun and enjoy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Rising Gems podcast. My name is Miroslava, and I am here with.
I am Erica.
We are so excited to be here with you today. We are diving into the world of extraterrestrials. We are answering the question, are extraterrestrials real? So, Erica, this is my favorite subject. How do you feel about extraterrestrials?
Honestly, I love talking about extraterrestrials. I'm pretty sure we all have extraterrestrial families, so I'm cool with talking about it. I love it.
Yeah, especially now because of everything that is going on in the world, within the collective. We have so many new UFO sightings or UAPs, however they want to call it now. But there's been a lot of talk about extraterrestrials and a lot of people being interested and really starting to ask questions. So we thought this would be a great subject for us to step deeper into the podcast world. And yeah.
I definitely see ETs as very similar to humans, just look different, have different abilities because of their ability to know that we're not limited. But, through my experience, everything is discernment. Humans, you can be discernment. And I'm not saying this is like they're bad and this is good. It's just like everything else. Some you are meant to communicate with and some aren't. Like, what is your intention behind wanting to communicate with ETs or wanting to interact with even humans? What is the intention so you can align to the one that is of your liking, as opposed to one that might not, have either your best interest or be in the same alignment as, where you're going with the communication.
There is a specific group of extraterrestrials that did create the modern human. So I do believe that
Yeah.
we are very deeply connected, not just energetically, but also genetically. And so there's this whole thing about the evolution, that we came from primates. So like little monkeys, and then we're human now. I don't believe that's the whole truth. I truly believe that there was some extraterrestrial intervention. There were some extraterrestrial geneticists that did their thing and they created who we are now. The question that a lot of people ask is, well, number one, are extraterrestrials real? And I say absolutely fucking yes.
Yeah.
Extraterrestrials are definitely real. But then the other question that people ask is also, are they hostile? What is their intention? Do they have good intentions with humanity? Let me start because I already have a lot to say. So so I personally believe that everything is energy, right? So everything is it, and especially in a three-dimensional experience, we do experience polarity, which is, the positive polarity and the negative polarity. And there are so many different frequencies within those two polarities. There are so many different shades of the same color, per se. And my belief is that there is a large group of extraterrestrials. They do have good intentions with humanity. One, because they are the creators of humanity. They created the modern human. And they do believe that, it's like, and I don't see extraterrestrials as God. I don't see them as God because there's only one God, that source energy that we are all part of. But I do believe that they kind of see us and they feel for us. They love us and they want us to kind of be or get to a vibrational state that they currently hold. So it's like they're not looking down at us, laughing at the crazy shit that we do. They are actually looking at us and they love us and they understand where we are at energetically, but they do want us to get better and to keep growing, not only spiritually, but also technologically, because there's a lot of beauty in technology. There's this balance within the polarity of positive and negative. But I do believe that the intention is to help us get better and to keep growing. But there's also a group of extraterrestrial beings that chose to dive into the negative polarity and to experience darkness. And one of the things that they do is work with the shadow government. And they do a lot of things within the government. They experiment with people, they experiment with animals. They give the governments different technologies, and it's very dark when we think about it. I don't agree with what a lot of these extraterrestrial beings do, that is very dark and negative, but also that's their experience. That's how they chose
Yeah.
to experience reality in this and their life, and that's a choice that they have made.
One of the reasons, I mean, there's so many reasons why ETs are now coming to Earth or having more communication to humans is because it's time. There is, when you look at quantum physics, everything is connected. So if we as humans were to destroy the Earth, we are literally destroying everything else as well, like different galaxies. So it all has an effect. So I do see them as, wanting to help us, not, I mean, yes, there are ETs that genuinely love humans. They genuinely want to help us, but they're also being like, look, if the humans keep doing what they're doing, we're fucked as well. So it's kind of like we kind of have to step in a little bit and help out. When you get to a point within human consciousness and human evolution where we can really discern for ourselves. And like I said earlier, discernment doesn't have to come from a place of fear. It's just knowing which person or which path is best for you. That's how I see discernment. It's like, okay, do I really want to make this purchase from someone who's saying that they're somebody else when I know that they're not?
Yeah, and what you said about discernment is so important, especially now, because everyone is, well, a lot of people are talking about extraterrestrials. There's a lot of information that is coming out. And there's also, I believe that there's going to be a lot more information that's going to be coming out from the government itself. And it's going to be very important for us to use discernment and to tune into the energy behind the words or behind the information that is being shared to fully understand the context and also to understand and to make our decision of whether that information feels good, feels real or true to us, or whether the information does not resonate at all with us and makes us
Mhm.
feel yucky inside. So that's when you really have to pay attention to energy, pay attention to the feeling, and make your decision after you have analyzed those both things. One of the things that I wanted to dive into as well is the UFO sightings or the UAP sightings, because there's been a lot, especially now with social media. We have our phones and we can upload whatever we want whenever we want. And I have seen an increase in just videos of UFOs. And I have to say that a lot of the content or the videos that I am seeing, I don't believe they're real. I really don't believe they're real, especially with AI technology. And, like we are very much advanced with when it comes to like cinematography and all of that stuff. And I think that a lot of the videos that we see are not real. But I also believe that some of the videos are real and there's a lot of truth to it. But what do you think, Erica, about the UFO sightings? Have you seen a UFO yourself, an extraterrestrial spaceship? Any experiences that you want to share with us?
There was this one experience, I want to say it was like around, maybe it was around the time actually that we saw the UFO. I briefly remember opening my eyes, like when you're still somewhat sleeping and then you're kind of awake. I briefly opened my eyes just a little bit and saw like four, I want to say if I'm remembering correctly, I want to say there was like 5, and I know that they were ETs by the way that they looked, but at that time, like, I wasn't scared. Like, there was no fear in my mind or in my body when I saw these beings, because it was almost like a hazy kind of outline when it came to like the ETs, but I knew that they were ETs because they didn't look like humans. They didn't look like spirits that have been passed on, and they were just staring at me. Fast forward years later, I was living in Pennsylvania with my ex, and their parents had a barn, and they renovated it to and it was like this really beautiful apartment. I mean, there was like 3 floors. It was gorgeous, and it was haunted like nothing I've ever experienced. This was the place, I kid you not, because my ex's father was also an antique dealer. So he had antiques in the barn and another part of it. So, like, not only did I have spirits, I had ET. I remember the reason why I say ET, and I'm only going to focus on that part, because whenever I would lay in my bed, I kid, oh my God, I was like, what the heck is going on? I would see these balls of light just coming out of the window, and like they would be flying, and like not flying, it's hard to explain, but they would like go from where there would be like an opening or like a window and like go upward. It would be like this ball of light just like moving upward, and it would be a pretty good size. Another experience happened where I was in the bathroom getting ready for work, and I saw this ET being walk right by my door. I was like, what the heck just happened? I don't know what kind of ET that it was. It was not a tall gray, and it wasn't a short gray, because I've seen pictures, and this was in between the height of a tall gray and a small gray. And the head kind of looked a tiny bit bigger than what you would see as like a tall gray. And it was kind of hunched a little bit. That's what I remember, just walking by my window, and or walking by the door of the bathroom that I was getting ready in, and I literally walked out of the bathroom like, what the frig was that?
That's awesome. Like,
Yeah,
that is, it sounds so amazing to me because I've never personally experienced like something like that. But I have questions.
of course.
So, well, one of the things that I wanted to say is that, a lot of the extraterrestrial encounters that people have are like this, like the way that you share, like balls of energy or spheres of light. And that's because what I see that as is kind of like it's energy that is contained, and it's like just it's their light bodies or light forms.
Oh,
Also,
really?
they have actually recorded or filmed the process of the creation of those crop circles, and they record spheres of light. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Was there something specifically with you and with your ex?
So I feel that, one, I'm getting that that area where I lived was definitely like, would you call it like a portal or vortex? How,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
like a
exactly what to call it, but and I feel like because I was open to the activity, because I've always had some kind of paranormal my whole life, I've always had something happen where I knew that there's other beings that we could not see. I knew all of that, but I honestly feel part of it had to do with my openness.
And I love what you said about that area being sort of a portal because it reminded me of, have you heard about the movies The Conjuring? It's like this series of movies, and there's one specifically, the first one, and it's a family. They live in a house in like a barn, and
Oh.
I was watching a video of one of the girls that lived in the house, one of the daughters, and she was saying how she felt. Her perspective is that the area in which the house was located was actually a portal. And so that's why they weren't only getting paranormal activity. They were actually accessing different dimensions. and that is because of the energy that was within that portal. And so they were seeing people from back in the day, back in the 1800s. They were and it was like so crazy because one of the things that she was saying is at one time, and I'm probably gonna be wrong with some of the details, so definitely check her out. I think the book is called House of Darkness, House of Light. But anyway, so one of the experiences that she shares is that she was in the kitchen, and then she was looking at the table, and there was this guy, or maybe even a family, I don't remember exactly, but there were people sitting at the table. And then at one point she noticed, or maybe it was her mom noticed that one of the guys sitting at the table was looking straight at her, like confused, like what the fuck is going on, like that being was kind of maybe thinking that. And then in that moment, she realized that she was the ghost for those people sitting at the table.
That
And that's when it was like, oh my gosh, that is so fucking crazy. Like, because it's not, because like we think that the things or the beings, the spirits that we see are ghosts to us, but what if we are ghosts to them? What if they are not actually ghosts, but people existing in a different reality, in a different, a parallel universe, parallel earth? Like, it's so crazy.
Yeah, that oh my gosh, Miroslava. I do not really watch movies. I do not watch. I mean, I used to watch movies and I watch TV shows, but I don't really much anymore.
Mm.
What you were just explaining reminds me of that Nicole Kidman movie. Oh my gosh, where she had children and the whole time her and her kids thought that they had ghosts in the house, but it turns out that they were the ghosts.
The experiences that I've had have been mostly energetic.
Mhm.
And I have seen extraterrestrials, but in dreams. And, you know, it's like communication that takes place telepathically. I do have one experience, though. I was here in my room. I was getting ready to go to sleep. And as I was getting ready, washing my face and, you know, doing all that stuff, I began to feel, and I began to feel energy, and I began to tell myself, oh, it's gonna happen. They're here. I was saying that to myself. I can feel it. They're here. They're gonna take me. And I even said, because that's when I was like learning about the hybrid children and tuning into that energy. And what I said is, you can take me, but just do so as long as you take me to see my hybrid children. So I even gave them permission to take me that night. And so I was very excited. I was just so excited. And I came back from the bathroom. I was lying in bed, and I just looked at the corner of my room next to where the door of the bathroom is. And I couldn't see a physical thing or like lights or energy or nothing, but in my mind I could see the being. So it was like there was nothing there, but I could see this tall, it's like an Esasani being. If anyone is familiar with extraterrestrial races, Esasani beings are kind of like gray looking, but they do have some human genetics. And after that, I went to sleep, and I did have some dreams. I saw a bunch of little kids, and I was like playing with them. And so I do feel that something happened. I was taken, and maybe like something happened. But the next morning, when I woke up, I realized that I had a scratch in one of my thighs, and I had like a red dot in one of my arms, in the left arm, I think. So I think they took some blood and did some things to me. But the energy that I felt, like you were saying, is like I wasn't really afraid. Like I was very excited about this experience, and this is something that I kind of gave them permission to do. What I want us to do now is move on to one of the questions also that people have, if you're comfortable with this,
Mhm.
which is extraterrestrial contact, and if it's going to happen with the whole world, with humanity. So this, I believe that alien or extraterrestrial contact is already taking place within beings like Erica, like myself, people that are open-minded, that are looking for answers and are really excited to communicate and to expand and to keep growing. But what do you think, or when do you think actual extraterrestrial contact is going to happen openly with the world? Okay, so we were about to step or give our perspective of extraterrestrial contact. And
They made their
some,
message very known to us that they do not want that right now.
or actually, what I started feeling when everything went to shits here on my side, because I don't think it was the signal. I don't think it was the Wi-Fi signal. It just completely, I was not able to hear whatever you were saying, Erica. And it was continuing to record. Everything looked fine on my side, but I wasn't hearing anything that you were saying. And that happened exactly when I was about to change subjects and step into the subject of extraterrestrial contact. And
Yeah.
what I was feeling actually was that maybe that was their way of saying, "Hey, we're here." And we're contacting you.
Yeah, I feel because of the way that it happened, because all of a sudden I could not hear you at all. And I feel like maybe we were about to embark on a territory that maybe we're not meant to talk about yet. Because of the way that it happened, how it happened.
So maybe we'll just skip on the extraterrestrial contact perspectives that we were going to be sharing. We'll save them for another episode. So thank you so much, my friend, for joining us. And we'll see you, or we'll talk to you on the next episode. Stay tuned.
Yes.
And yeah, so have a beautiful day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.